Hello my dear students. So in this video we will discuss in detail about different types of inheritance. Okay, so in the previous video lecture we have seen how constructor and destructor work in inheritance. Okay, so in this video we'll see different types of inheritance. So basically there are five types of inheritance: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and then hybrid inheritance. So we are going to see one by one in detail, okay, theoretically. Like I said, today we will focus only theory portion. Next class we will focus or we'll be doing totally practical, or you can say programming. Okay, so the first type is single inheritance. As you can see here, in single inheritance, a class is allowed to inherit from only one class. That means what? There will be one base class, and from that base class, we are deriving or inherit. We are deriving another class, that is class B. Okay. तो दिस इज टिल नाउ जो हम लोगों ने प्रीवियस क्लासेस में मैंने एग्जांपल दिखाया था, all those example are type of single inheritance. Why? Because all those example I mentioned there are only one class base class and one derived class. तो ये क्या है, ये हम लोग कैसे डिराइव कर सकते हैं? सिंटैक्स इज क्लास सब क्लास नेम और कैसे डिराइव क्लास नेम, एक्सेस कंट्रोलर पब्लिक प्राइवेट प्रोटेक्टेड, एंड देन base class name and body of subclasses. Okay, you know this. So this is the example we have already seen. So you can see here base class, I'm taking one class as vehicle. So vehicle, this is one constructor, and then you can see here one derived class car. So इसके अंदर हम लोगों ने एक मेंबर डिराइव नहीं किया है, दैट मीन्स जो बेस क्लास का था वही यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. तो ऑब्जेक्ट भी हम लोगों ने ये डिराइव क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया है, तो ऑब्वियसली first the base class constructor will be called. Okay, so next type is multiple inheritance. Multiple means just remember there will be multiple base classes. Okay, so you can see here in multiple inheritance one subclass is inherited. That means one derived class is inherited from more than one base class. मतलब base class ज़्यादा होगा, but there will be only one derived class. तो ये एग्जांपल हम लोगों ने लास्ट क्लासेस में भी देखा था एक, if you remember. Anyway, we'll proceed with this. You can see here how we can inherit this multiple inheritance. Okay, so you can see here this there will be only one derived class subclass name. Okay, and then you can see here access control base class 1, because there will be more than one base classes. So it can be 2, it can be 5, it can be 10 also. Okay, so कैसे हम लोग करेंगे? Access mode, that means access control, it can be private, public, protected, based on you how you're going to deriving the base class. Okay, so base class 1 comma, if you have 10 derived base class, then we have to give and we have to write it by comma. Okay, base class 1, base class 2, base class 3, like that. Okay, so this body is for what? For derived class. Okay, so as you can see here in this diagram also, class B, class C, this is base 1, this is base class 2, and this is derived class. Okay, so this is the example of this multiple inheritance. You can see here we have declared one class vehicle, only one constructor is defining. Then you can see here class four-wheeler, here this four-wheeler is again one constructor, and from here we are deriving a class called car. ठीक है, ये एक डिराइव क्लास है. ठीक है, यू कैन सी हियर पब्लिक व्हीकल, व्हीकल एक बेस क्लास है, पहला बेस क्लास था. उसके बाद पब्लिक फोर व्हीलर, ये एक सेकंड बेस क्लास है. ठीक है, एंड दिस इज द मेन फंक्शन. फ्रॉम मेन फंक्शन यू कैन सी हियर we created the object for car. Car means what? The derived class. That means what? How this program will run? So we have created the object for derived class obj. So obviously first the base class 1, that means you can see here public vehicle this message is a vehicle will be displayed first. Second, this is a four-wheeler vehicle, this message will be displayed. And third, if we have some message or some members to execute for this derived class, that will be displayed. Okay, so this is multiple inheritance. So you can see in single inheritance there will be only one base class, one derived class. In multiple we can see there will be multiple base classes but only one derived class. Next is very important, that is multi-level inheritance. Students, you might get confusion between this multiple and multi-level. Multiple means, remember, multiple base classes. Multi-level means what? You can see here, in this type of inheritance a derived class is created from another derived class. You can see here, this is class A, this is a derived class which is derived from class B. For A is the B is the base class. Okay, again you see here B is again derived from class C. That means for B again base class is C, right? That means this, you can say here in mathematics you have heard about this term transitive. Okay, transitive मतलब एक क्लास से दूसरा क्लास derive किया है, and that class is again from that second class again we are deriving another class. That means this is a transitive nature. You can see here for derived class A, he has base class B. This base class is again have another base class, that is C. Okay, you can see here for C derived class is B and for B derived class is A. Okay, let us see with this example. You can see here again we are taking the same class vehicle, constructor, default constructor vehicle. Again you can see here class four-wheeler. You can see here this time four-wheeler is derived from public vehicle. That means this will be derived from here. Okay, again for four-wheeler again we are defining a default constructor four-wheeler. Okay, you can see here right side again we are deriving a class car, but this time this car is derived from what? From where? Four-wheeler. You can see here this from here, and this is derived from where? Vehicle. You can see here vehicle. So this is what? A transitive nature. See, in examination, in final examination, sometimes what they will give you a program like this, and your first question will be which type of inheritance is this? For sure in your final examination this kind of question will be there. So if you see, easily we can say now, if you since you know that this multi-level means what? Transitive nature. That means एक base class से एक derived class, from that derived class again we are going to create another derived class like this. Okay, and in previous classes you can see here यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा था, एक क्लास है, ठीक है, ये क्लोज हुआ है एक vehicle class, उसके बाद दूसरा क्लास लिया हम लोगों ने फोर व्हीलर, यहाँ पे क्लोज हुआ है. थर्ड क्लास जो है कार, ये जो कार हम लोगों ने कहाँ से डिराइव किया है? व्हीकल एंड फोर व्हीलर दोनों से. यू कैन सी हियर कॉमा इज गिवन हियर. ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ. इफ यू हैव मोर देन टू डिराइव क्लास, सपोज 10 बेस क्लासेस इज देयर एंड ओनली वन डिराइव क्लास इज देयर, देन यू आर गोइंग टू डिराइव इट बाय पब्लिक व्हीकल कॉमा पब्लिक फोर व्हीलर व्हीकल कॉमा, अगेन जितना भी वेरिएबल होगा हम लोग बेस क्लासेस होगा सब हम लोग क्या करेंगे? विल राइट ऑन द राइट साइड of this derived class and separated by comma. Okay, so this is the example of what? Multi-level inheritance. Okay, ये जो जितना भी हम लोगों ने प्रोग्रामिंग दिया है ये these are all are very simple programming. Okay, just to understand the concept of this inheritance. Okay, like I said, in the next classes I'll come with some programming. Okay, separate programming or you can say practical programming, and that one I'll show you by writing in woodblock code. Okay, anyway, our fourth type of inheritance is hierarchical inheritance. So hierarchical means what? In this type, this hierarchical you can say this is opposite of multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance में क्या था? Base classes बहुत सारा था, many base classes, but only one derived class. In hierarchical we can say this is like tree-like structure. Okay, in this type of inheritance more than one subclasses or you can say derived class is inherited from a single base class. That is, more than one derived class is created from a single class. Is not it totally opposite of this multiple inheritance? यस इट इज टोटली ऑपोजिट ऑफ दिस मल्टीपल इनहेरिटेंस। तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं हम लोगों ने एक क्लास क्रिएट किया है क्लास बी, दिस इज द बेस क्लास। फ्रॉम दिस बेस क्लास वी हैव क्रिएटेड ए क्लास बी। Okay, from class B again we have created class A, class C, and right side you can see here we have created a class E from G, and from E we have created D and F. So this is the hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so let us see with the help of this example. तो यहाँ पे हम लोगों ने वही एग्जाम्पल लिया है, क्लास व्हीकल कंस्ट्रक्टर बनाया हम लोगों ने, उसके बाद क्लास कार, ठीक है, कार से हम लोगों ने व्हीकल, कार हम लोगों ने इनहेरिट किया है फ्रॉम व्हीकल, उसके बाद क्लास बस, बस इनहेरिट किया है व्हीकल से, ठीक है, जस्ट हम लोगों ने यही किया है। दैट मीन्स एक ही बेस क्लास से हम लोगों ने दो डिराइव क्लास क्रिएट किया है, एक है कार और एक है बस। अब देख सकते हैं कार भी हम लोग डिराइव कर रहा है कहाँ से, व्हीकल से, एंड बस भी हम लोग डिराइव कर रहा है व्हीकल से। दैट मीन्स बेस क्लास एक है, दोनों एक ही है, but these two are separate derived classes. So you can see here we are creating object for car object, that means इसके लिए हम लोगों ने object create किया है। उसके बाद for bus also we have created one object obj2. Okay, so this is the example of hierarchical inheritance. Remember, hierarchical and multiple is totally opposite. In multiple we had different many multiple base classes but a single derived class, but in terms of hierarchical, single base class but multiple derived class. ठीक है, our last type of inheritance is hybrid inheritance, which is also known as virtual inheritance. Hybrid means it is common term for us. Okay, hybrid means what? Mixture of something, right? So this hybrid term we are using in inheritance. That means what? In this type hybrid inheritance, when we call it as hybrid inheritance, when there will be like different types of inheritance present, say it in a class, or you can say in a programming we can have single inheritance, we can have multiple inheritance, okay, we can have multi-level inheritance. Okay, that means what? More than one type will be present in a particular program, and that type of uh, that is known as our hierarchical inheritance. You can see here class Z, sorry, the previous example is similar with this. Okay, maybe I have to make sense with this diagram. Okay, I'll make it sense. Okay, ये जो diagram है, this is for hierarchical inheritance only, but you can see here this is not suitable diagram. Okay, please do not follow this diagram. Hybrid में क्या होगा? There will be single, suppose there will be symbol what you can say single inheritance, there will be multi-level inheritance, or we can have all the types of inheritance within a single type. That is known as hybrid. Hybrid means mixture. You can see here hybrid inheritance is implemented by combining more than one type of inheritance. That means in a it can have multiple multi-level hierarchical at a time, and that type is known as hybrid inheritance. Okay, I'm telling you again, please do not follow this diagram because this is the example of hybrid, hierarchical. Okay, तो ये hybrid का diagram नहीं है. Okay, so for example you can say combining hierarchical inheritance and multiple inheritance. I forgot to paste the diagram for this. Okay, next classes I will show you. Okay, for now skip this diagram. Just you try to understand hybrid means what? There will be mixture of different types. You can see here example is given. Okay, so in this example you can see here class vehicle is created, and then class fare is created. This is one separate class, this is again separate class. Since there is no inherited, that means what? This is a separate class, this is again separate class. And you can see here class car. ये जो क्लास कार है ये कहाँ से इनहेरिट कर रहा है? व्हीकल से. दैट मीन्स द फर्स्ट क्लास ये यहाँ से इनहेरिट कर रहे हैं हम लोग, कौन सा? ये कार. अब यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं क्लास बी, क्लास बस. ये बस क्लास जो है ना, ये क्या है? डिराइव क्लास है. कहाँ से इनहेरिट किया है? व्हीकल एंड फेयर दोनों में से. दैट मीन्स ये इनहेरिट हो रहा है यहाँ से भी, यहाँ से भी. तो इफ यू लुक एट दिस inheritance, you can say that this is what? Multiple inheritance, because बेस क्लास ये है, दोनों सेपरेट बेस क्लास है, दो बेस क्लास है यहाँ पे और एक डिराइव्ड क्लास है. So looking at this, we can say this is multiple inheritance. But looking at this car class, you can say here only one class base class is there. That means this is what? This is single inheritance, single base derived class, single base classes. Or and this is what? Single inheritance, and this is what? मल्टीपल इनहेरिटेंस. So एक ही प्रोग्राम के अंदर हम लोगों को यहाँ पे दो ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट है. Okay, that means what? This is the example of hybrid inheritance. I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, if you have any query regarding these types of inheritance, you can call me immediately. Okay, so uh, in the next classes we will see different types of practical example. Okay, with this we'll conclude here today, and the next class we'll see the practicals. Okay, thank you.